Hey everyone, it's Sarah here. It's week 15 for our CSA this week. So that means we have 6 more weeks of harvest left to go before we're done for the season. But one of the things that I wanted to show you guys tonight is something that you can do at home in your own garden. And it also is a great way to just increase your fertility and make sure that you have great crops in years to come. So what I'm talking about are cover crops. Cover crops are excellent because at this time of the year we're typically not planting very much in the garden, but we want to conserve the soil over the winter, the harsh winter, so that it'll be productive for years to come. So we have an excellent cover crop here that I'd like to show you. We've got this beautiful crop of field peas and buckwheat. So it's an unusual combination, but it's just two of the seeds that we had left over from previous plantings, so we thought we'd grow them together because field peas, like most peas, like to climb on things, and buckwheat is something that grows fairly high, so it means that they have a dense cover and they can mutually grow together. So these are the field peas right here, and you can see the little white flowers in between here are the buckwheat. So we planted this in kind of mid-August, and typically this time of year we'll be getting a frost in about a week or two, usually early August or October. So that's an excellent time to plant, is in about mid-August, so that it will actually winter kill in the fall. So that means that all of this organic matter will die down over the winter and when we get harsh frosts, so that next spring I don't have to worry about digging it up or mowing it or tilling it. It's just going to be all of this lush organic matter. So one benefit of a cover crop is obviously that it covers the soil over the winter, but it also gives food or fodder for the microorganisms and bacteria and beneficial things living in the soil. So all of that root matter prevents the soil from blowing away in the winter, but again it produces this dense mat of green material. Now this dense mat also is beneficial because it helps to suppress weeds that may be growing in your garden. So you can see here there's tons of buckwheat and peas, but there's hardly any weeds in here, so it actually chokes out the weeds from germinating as well. The other nice thing about having a cover crop is that these field peas are just beautiful. You can see the nice flower that's coming on now. So what I would recommend for a cover crop like this is if you're not going to get a frost when you expect to and your flowers are starting to go to seed, it's best to mow it, because again, if it does go to seed, you're going to have them reseeding themselves next year, which is okay, but then your cover crop actually becomes a weed itself. So these are great cover crops, like I mentioned, because they are annuals. If you're going to plant a perennial, make sure you are, or something that will overwinter, make sure you're cutting it off or harvesting it at the right time as well, because it can cause big problems. But overall, they're a great way to conserve soil, and peas are a great nitrogen fixer as well. So that means that you're actually going to be adding more nitrogen into your soil, which is definitely a beneficial element that you need to grow your crops in the following year. So if you guys have any more questions about cover crops or what cover crop mixes to use, let us know. We'd be more than happy to share that with you and answer any questions. Like for instance, buckwheat is also awesome for pollinators and particularly for bees. So let us know if you have any questions. We'd be more than happy to help you, and we look forward to seeing you at this week's CSA pickup. Cheers!